Alright, let's continue the journey in understanding the components of a cell that we started in the last video. We first looked at the outermost protective layers, the cell membrane and the cell wall. Now, let's look at two more very important components that are present inside most of the cells, the cytoplasm and the nucleus. Let's start with cytoplasm. To understand what cytoplasm is and how it helps, consider this example. Let's say you have a jar and you drop a few marbles in it. Now, if you move or shake this jar, what would happen? The marbles will move freely and bang against each other and probably get damaged. Okay, now let's imagine the jar is filled with water and you do the same thing again. Now, the marbles will move much slower because of the resistance of the water. So, it will cause less damage, right? Okay. Well, what if we put another substance like jelly in the jar, which is even more sticky, or in other words, more viscous? Now, what would happen? Well, the jelly is so thick that the marbles are very much suspended in their own place, and they will not be able to move even if you shake the jar, right? And so they won't damage each other. Now keep this in mind. Now, just like marbles, inside the cell there are a lot of different components that need to be protected from banging against each other. And for that reason, the cell is also filled with a jelly-like substance where all of these components are suspended. This jelly-like substance is called cytoplasm. The viscosity or thickness of the cytoplasm is actually somewhere in between the water and the jelly. Now, what this does is act like a cushion between the different components in the cell and at the same time allow for some movement of materials all around the cell. This is very critical for proper functioning of that cell, and that is why cytoplasm is a very important part of any cell. Alright, the next very important component of a cell which we are going to look at is called the nucleus. This nucleus is spherical in shape and is generally located in the center of the cell, suspended in the cytoplasm. We can actually see the nucleus in both the onion and the cheek cells that we saw under the microscope. Again, to understand how nucleus helps, think of this example. In most of our homes, we have some sort of a locker or almirah to keep our most valuable documents or objects, right? Now, think of nucleus in the same way. It is a special vault to hold some of the most important components of the cell, the chromosomes and the nucleolus. The nucleus also has a protective cover called the nuclear membrane, which encloses these components and provides additional protection. But why are these the most important components of all? Let's find out what they do and try to understand better. First, the chromosomes. These are strand-like substances that have like a whole instruction manual encoded on them that tells how every single cell in the organism should function. These chromosomes are actually what gives each human their uniqueness. Each of us have slightly different chromosomes in our cells, and that is why we have, say, different skin or eye color, hair, height, and all the differences that you see. But you should understand that chromosomes in the same person are actually same in all the cells that they have. But depending on a specific type of cell, the relevant instructions are found only in certain segments of that chromosome called genes. For example, some genes of your chromosome encode instructions on what the color of the skin should be. So the cells in your skin look for those very specific instructions and use them to produce melanin, a colored substance or pigment that determines the color of your skin. And much like the skin, every single cell in your body uses some very specific genes from the chromosome to perform their function. Now, the natural question is, how exactly does the specific gene find its way outside the nucleus where it is then used by the cell? Well, this is where the second component, nucleolus, comes into play. This is responsible to extract only the specific instructions that are needed by the given cell. This then leaves the nucleus through small pores in the nuclear membrane and into the cytoplasm, where it is then used by other components of the cell to perform their function. And because the nucleus holds such important components needed for functioning of any cell, it is actually also called the control center of the cell. Alright, in the next video, let's step outside the nucleus and look at some more components of the cell and see how they use this genetic information to perform the overall function of that cell. See ya!